Welcome to helping the well-being of our children using the practices of Ayurveda. Now, today is a time where we're all in lockdown around the world, and many things that we do at home is really going to and is impacting our children, and a lot of things we might not be conscious of as well. So I want to run through some really simple but profound things that can really help your children at this time. So I'm going to run through some of the don'ts first, and then we're going to fill up with the do's to really help our children. So this is a time that we can really use well. If we use this time well, our children and ourselves are going to get through it so much more stronger, resilient, harmonious, peaceful together than if we didn't do these things. So it is up to you, it is up to me to provide a stable, loving, nourishing home for our children during this time. They need us more than ever right now. So there are some things that we can do on a daily basis to help them thrive. If we are to create a stable and peaceful and loving home, it really starts with us. So alongside our children, we implement these things ourselves. We're like this, especially now when we're with each other 24/7. Why Ayurveda is really special is because it really gives us the knowledge on how the things from the outside impact us internally, and also how to change internally, how to create or discover that peace within us so it goes outwards. So we change our external reality at the very same time. So we can start with ourselves, then it helps our children and our homes, and then our children go back out and they're much better for it. So I'm going to start with a list of what we have to be conscious of, what we might be doing at the moment. So the first thing is to understand that everything coming in through the senses, so our eyes, our ears, our touch, our environment, affects us internally. So if we're listening to the news constantly or a lot or every night, and it's going to affect how we think. It's a generator of thoughts. So from the outside, it makes what happens inside happen. It generates thoughts from what you're seeing and what you're hearing. So with your children are even more sponges. They are spongier than us. So really be conscious of this. We must, with Ayurvedic knowledge, is that we don't even show the news every night. At night time, this is a time for actually the opposite of the negative news. Yes, we must be completely informed and we must be alert and attentive to every decision that we make and every action that we do, and that includes receiving information, but it's a different approach to watching the news on a big screen TV every night when the sun's going down and the children are around this environment. They're hearing the words death and dying on a regular basis. The coronavirus, so on a regular basis. And their little minds don't quite understand, especially if we haven't actually discussed the ideas and the concepts of death. It could be a very scary thing for them. So we must reduce or eliminate the news around our children, and also what we're talking about in front of our children. We can inform them in a stable, calm, informative manner so we can discuss it with them. So that is the best way to work with our children with this information about death, sickness, coronavirus, and our changes in life. Discuss openly, lovingly, but one of the main things is if you yourself is fearful and overconsumed with the news, it's going to be much harder for you to do it in a calm and content, informative, non-dramatizing manner. So that is why we also would have to reduce our news intake, watch it in small bits, the bits that we need to know at the right time. So the wrong times to listen to bad news is the first thing when we wake up in the morning, because that's our time for peace practices to set us up for the day. And also as soon as the sun starts going down, this is also not the right time for the negative news. So anywhere else, short bursts, listen to what you need to know, get it from the most reliable sources out there, and follow these directions from government attentively. Communication is very, very important with your children. So a listening ear is really important. So to have a listening ear, ask, do they have any questions? And as much as best as you can answer these questions. So children have a tendency to make a conclusion in their head, and just like all of us have the ability to make worst case scenarios in our minds. So we have to discuss these out in a calm, friendly and conscious manner. Is to get rid of too much movies, just too much screen time in general. So you don't want to be just bombarding their minds with senseless cartoons. It's fine for some entertainment and for some fun, but if it goes too much screen time, it's really going to be detrimental to them. What are we going to do in that time? We've got hours upon hours with our children. So this is where the next video, I'm going to give you so much ideas and tips to enliven the magic in your homes, enliven harmony and love and nourishment, and really focus on letting come forth the beautiful character traits that every single person has in them. So this is a time to focus on these things. Academia is, of course, important, but it is really the character strengths that will allow us to live fulfilling, wholesome, good lives, and use those academia in service pursuits that actually help with the world instead of detriment of the world. So Ayurveda has been around for a long time, and it is where meditation practices, yoga practices, mindfulness practices, mantras, being still, self-reflection, all these beautiful things that really help with calming the mind, helping reduce anxiety, depression, and studies have shown this as well, has deep roots in. So it's many, many thousands of years old. This is where the next video I'm going to give you so much ideas and tips to enliven the magic in your homes,